Hello YouTube. Thought I'd throw together a little Chimaeron guide for healers since this boss is incredibly terrifying to heal, yet also extremely easy to heal if you actually know what's going on. You literally only need like one healer who knows what's going on to be able to kill this boss, which is pretty sick, if you ask me. I like it. So here's the sequence of events. And the main thing you need to understand is that the first 30 seconds of the fight is a little bit different than the rest of the fight. So the first 30 seconds is going to look like this. The boss is going to hit the tank with break, which is just a debuff that forces the tanks to swap whenever the double attack happens, and when the system failure phase happens, that's all it is. And then 5 seconds after break, the double attack happens, and shortly after that, you get the caustic slime into another double attack, which happens during the caustic slime, and then you get massacre, which drops the whole raid down to 1 HP. All of that stuff happens pretty fast, which might sound scary to heal, but it's actually really easy. So the first thing you have to do is apply a consistent but low amount of healing to the main tank so that he's constantly above 10k health. All I do as a Rested Druid is I maintain 3-stack Life Bloom on him. If you're a Shaman, you can maintain Riptide. Holy Priest can maintain Renew. On 10 man, Holy Paladins can spam Holy Light on the main tank, and I would also put Beacon on the main tank. And Disc Priest can just spam Heal or Atonement. It's up to you what you want to do. And then the double attack is going to happen, and you need to top the tank gets hit by this right away, like within 5 seconds or so, because you're preparing him for the second double attack. So if you want to be a dirty boy, you can try to precast a greater heal for this, if you can time it right. I'm using Healing Touch, so watch what happens to the Paladin tank here. 3, 2, 1. The double attack hits, and I land my Healing Touch. Then the Caustic Slime happens, and all this ability does is it knocks a bunch of random people down to 1 health, so you have to assign a healer to each group. And the way I did the assignments for this boss is I told the Shamans to cast Healing Rain on both sides of the boss, so that all the melee are covered. And as long as you have Healing Rain down, you don't even have to cast any other healing spells to get the melee above 10k. And the other healers, they just flash heal the people in their assigned group that get hit by the Caustic Slime. You could also use your slow, low mana cost heal, like Nourish, Holy Light, Heal, etc. to deal with the Caustic Slime hits, but it's a little bit risky. The Caustic Slime hits, they happen shortly after each other, so it's just a little bit easier to press Flash Heal. And my guild 6 healed this, so I just assigned myself as a backup Caustic Slime healer, so that whenever the Caustic Slime happens, I'm just scanning the raid to see if any group got multiple Caustic Slime hits in that group, and then I help that one out. After the Caustic Slime hits 3 times, then the Massacre will happen, which means everyone will get dropped to 1 health, and your initial reaction to this as a healer will be to panic, right? Well, guess what? The easiest part of the fight to heal is after the Massacre happens. The only player that is at risk of dying after the Massacre happens is the double attack tank, because the double attack happens around 15 seconds after the Massacre. So the only thing you need to do as a healer when the Massacre happens is throw out 1 AoE heal. I use Wild Growth. Then heal the tank that's about to get hit by the double attack to full. That's all you have to do. The biggest doomed mistake that every healer is going to make on this boss is just going way too fast because you're healing way too much. The goal of this boss is to heal as little as possible until the whole raid stacks up. That's when you dump all your mana. So that was the first 30 seconds of the boss. After that first Massacre happens, the rest of the fight will be the same sequence of events, except there will only be 1 double attack instead of 2. So you won't need to top the tank after he gets hit by the double attack, you only need to heal him above 10k. Now when it comes to the system failure mechanic, where everyone has to stack up and spam healing, this mechanic is actually random. So sometimes a Massacre will happen and you won't get a system failure, sometimes you will get a systems failure. Sometimes you'll get 2 system failures back to back. Sometimes you won't get one for a while. So it's kind of annoying, but all you have to do is have a lay on hands rotation set up so that the tank who's tanking the boss in this phase gets lay on hands immediately as people are stacking up. If you don't have a lay on hands available, well, you're going to have to heal up the tank really fast before you start spamming raid healing. Wrestle Shamans are especially good at this because Greater Healing Wave is very fast and very strong. And make sure you have raid cooldown set up as well for the stack up phase, and that's it. That's the fight. So I'm going to show you our kill of the boss now, start to finish, and I'll talk over it a little bit so that you can see what's going on in real time. Okay, here's the start of the fight. So I just start off with 3 stack life on the main tank. You don't even have to have a real tank this boss, I'm pretty sure. You can just have like a red pally do it or something. But, you know, I'm just keeping life bloom on, trying not to spend mana. And then here's the double attack right there. I precast a healing touch for it because you have 5 seconds to heal that up. Heal up that double attack. So I'm ready for it. Looks like all the other healers were ready for it too. Or they just panicked, I don't know. And then the Caustic Slime happens and I'm scouting the raid to see if anybody like really needs healing. Some people are out of my range, which is really annoying. But, it's fine. We keep everybody alive. And then here's the Massacre. So Massacre happens. What do? Do not panic. Okay, this is the easiest part of the fight. The whole raid is never going to die. There is no chance that they die. Okay, so the only person in danger is the double attack tank, which is this paladin right here. So all I do after every Massacre is I press Wild Growth 1 time, and then I heal up this guy. So here I just use Rejuve and Swiftmend. I could have probably used a healing touch, but I see that he's like high enough health, so I just like, okay, whatever, I'll just leave him. And then I keep 3 stack life on this tank, and that's all you have to do. Other than that, you just kind of stand there until this Caustic Slime happens, and then you regrowth anyone, or Flash or whatever your class is. Kind of regrowth, look around, try not to spend too much mana. I don't know how this paladin lives. He's out of my range, but anyways, there's another Massacre. We didn't get a systems failure, so I just Wild Growth, Swiftmend, and I can tell I'm the only person healing up this tank during this part. I don't think the other healers understand what's going on. I didn't explain to them this fight, really. We just kind of fucking went in and sent it. So I can tell I'm the only healer that really knows what's going on because I heal up this tank by myself. Like, I can tell that I'm healing him by myself in preparation for this double attack, because that's all you really need to do, right? So I heal him up, he survives the double attack, and then we get a Caustic Slime again. And same shit, pretty easy, and that just happens over and over. And then you get a system failure. We get it here. Right here, yeah. Okay, so you just stack up. I need to use my Swiftmend sooner. It's hard to maintain life bloom on this tank, I noticed during the system failure, but I just go in, I press Rejuve, Swiftmend, start spamming Rejuve, Wild Growth, everything. And you only really need to heal up the first 2 hits of Caustic Slime. At this point, after the 2 hits have gone out, if the raid is at like a decent health threshold, you really don't have to heal anymore, because the 3rd hit of Caustic Slime is going to happen and everyone's going to live, and then Massacre is going to happen, which takes everyone down to 1 health anyways. So every bit of healing that happens after this 2nd Caustic Slime hit is irrelevant. And that's why I conk pot right here. This is literally the best time to conk pot, because all of this healing is completely pointless and doesn't do anything. There we go, we spread back out. People, I can tell the other healers aren't healing this fight properly because they're spam healing the main tank, which you don't need to do. You only have to keep this tank above 10k health, so there's no reason to top him like this. But that's what we do. I just put my 3 sec life loop and call it a day, and I heal this tank up because I know he's going to get double hit right here. There he goes, and then Caustic Slime happens, and this just repeats again and again. Same shit, right? We're going to get a Massacre right here after this Caustic Slime. There it is, there's the Massacre. Keep everybody alive, and then Wild Growth, and then Rejuve, Swiftmend, Healing Touch spam to get the tank up to full health. And that's it. So that's just going to keep happening until the boss gets to 20%. And if you manage your mana properly, you'll have a decent amount of mana to top the raid up before 20%. So we are going to top the raid up after this massacre happens, which is right here. This is when we're going to top everybody. And we pop Bloodlust as well, which is kind of risky, I guess, because like the DPS are going to burn through this health really fast, so we don't have much time. But I spend all my mana just topping up the raid. All the other healers are like as fuck during this part, but I had enough mana to like, you know, kind of top up the raid here. And it's a little bit scuffed, but you want to use your cooldowns on the tank who's tanking. Ideally, what would happen in this scenario is the Blood Decay would taunt, and then we use all of our cooldowns on him. So like Powered Shield, Pain Suppression, Hand of Sack, just everything on that tank so that he can live as long as possible. But unfortunately, we used it on this low health tank, which is kind of awkward. Like watch, we use like Paints up here and Hand of Sack and shit. We probably shouldn't have done that, but it's whatever. And if you're a Disc Priest, if you have mana during this phase, you probably won't, but if you do, you can just Powered Shield people. Powered Shield is unaffected by the 99% healing debuff. So you can keep people alive for so fucking long if you just Powered Shield them. But our Disc Priest was like as fuck. He went way too fast. And yeah, that's it. That's the fight. Thank you for watching my YouTube video. I'll probably release more healing content in the future if I'm not a lazy piece of shit. But I am. So we'll see what happens. I was supposed to make a Holy Paladin guide, but I realized as I was writing it that Holy Paladin is just so stupid and easy that I didn't want to finish it. Like literally the hardest part about playing a Holy Paladin Cataclysm is having to tell your friends that you're a virgin. That is literally the hardest part. So I'm probably not going to do the Holy Paladin guide, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, bye-bye.